glad you made it back for issue 2 of the Nasty. They'll slash the seats. If you haven't seen the first video, you can check it out. It's more about this issue here, issue number 1. I don't think these are too hard to get. You might have to ask your comic shop to order it, but this is about the video nasties. Just check out the first video I did about it. And so I talked to my comic book guy. It's Excalibur here in Shreveport, and I asked him if there was any variant covers, and because I seen there was, I asked him about getting the variant covers for me, and he did. So here's the alternate cover for issue number 1. I mean, I was big into the comics back in the late 80s, early 90s. I think, well, late 90s I got out of it because my whole collection got stolen, but I mentioned that in the last video. Anyway, here's issue 2. And this one's called They'll Slash the Seats. So it's good, getting pretty good, man. I'm happy with this. Like I said, I don't collect comic books. Not into superhero crap. And here's the variant for issue number 2, which I think is killer. See that camera with the blood and the reflection? That's Graham with his imaginary slasher friend there in the blood. Red Enos or Readiness. And but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, man. And I didn't really go over this in the first video, but the story is by John Lees, and the art is from George Cambadai and Adam Cahoon, and the letters are done by Jim Campbell. So just wanted to give props to those guys. I'm enjoying, like I said, nobody's told me to do this, and doing this on my own. Something that interested me. Hopefully somebody's getting something out of this. It's about the video nasties, kind of not dead on the nose with titles. I mean, it gives you alternate titles for the movies, like The House of Creeping Flesh is a made-up title, and it's supposed to be like the most horrible video nasty, and it goes into the whole censorship stuff in the books. Thing I like about it, it's a group of friends. They're all 18 and around that age, 18 years old, probably 18, 19, and they work in video shops and stuff. Graham is just like a super obsessed horror fanatic. They all are, really. But like I said, check out the first video. If you want to know more about the backstory of Graham. But in this one, I'm not going to spoil what happens. But Graham thinks he's got it figured out. He's been locked up. He's locked himself into a room for like 4 days with the broken tape, because they tried to watch the House of Creeping Flesh, but it broke. And he's been like mesmerized by the screen. And in the book, you're like, what the hell? So he says, I know I can get all the answers from you on how we're going to do this, because these kids are trying to make their own video nasty. And there's a Halloween Horror Fest coming up, and they want to get it together. Deb has already promised the Halloween Horror Fest that she would have the House of Creeping Flesh, which is very hard to get. And they had a copy, but it snapped in the last issue. But now they got to figure out what they're going to do. Something, whatever they make has got to top House of Creeping Flesh. And that's kind of like the emphasis of the story, the idea behind it. I think it's super cool. I just figured I'd share. And I'm going to just keep covering these nasties I've been covering the video nasties, but then I've seen this thing popped out, and so super interesting. There's one called Pervert Bigfoot. So obviously he's been locked in his room. There's some crazy shit going on with the tape that he's watching, and his imaginary friend, slasher friend, is right there with him the whole time. It's a fun ride, man. I'm not gonna spoil the issue all the way. Y'all take care. And don't get too damn nasty out there.